Hi, everybody. This is Leanne from Beyond the Label podcast. So, today I have a very special guest and friend with me here, Abigail Chin. Hi, Abigail.
Hi, thank you for having me, Leanne.
I'm really excited to interview Abigail. She is a content creator and entrepreneur. And you just want to start by just telling the audience a little bit about what you do?
I actually graduated with interior design background, and I went into corporate, also in interior design. But then, like 2 years later, I decided that that's not my path anymore, and then I kind of went into the online industry and found content creation.
Well, you said it that you started with a interior design background and eventually became a full-time content creator, and I feel like that is something that a lot of people are curious to know about. Being in a corporate environment and changing it into a more freelance creative place. So do you want to just tell us more about what inspired that change and why do you want to become a content creator?
Um, After working about like 2 to 3 years, I kind of felt like I was uninspired, and then by my corporate job, I meant like I wasn't learning anymore. I wasn't really like being creative anymore. Majority of the directions are obviously from the directors, so I knew that like in the next 5 years, right? If I were to go up the corporate ladder, it would be manager, then director. It wouldn't be like a path that I wanted to take on. So I told myself, okay, something has to change, and what is it? So I started like taking a step back and then really think, what can I do? What else can I do? I went on a route for HR, project management, and I was like, that's not what I want to do. So I started going on the online industry because I started seeing there was a trend during like COVID era and people were doing coaching. So I was like, oh, maybe I can try business coaching, because I was like, it seems like first financially it can be something that can sustain me, and second of all, like I can help people, right? So that's the path that I was going towards, and also started like a side bag business, like more of drop shipping. But that really kind of ended really soon. But that really let me open my eyes and kind of look into the online industry and be like, oh wow, you can actually make money online and you can actually find clients online. So I was like, that is the path that like I kind of want to take as more like the freelance route. And then so once I started it and went into the coaching for like about half a year, and at that time I was also doing tutoring too, to keep me sane and keep me going with like finance and all that, because like again I quit cold turkey. I did not have any backup plan. So I was doing like a slasher. I was doing everything all at once, and then it got to a point where I'm like, okay, I really need to focus on one thing, and I really need to reevaluate what I really want to do personally. And so the handbag, because it's not something that I created, so I don't feel personally attached to it. So therefore I'm like, okay, this is something that maybe I want to do in the future, but not now. And then the coaching, I started feeling like I was the therapist, because as business coaching, like they always tell me like their problems and I help solve it. So as a very like positive person, I really accept all that energy, negative energy, and I couldn't process it. So it made me feel very down, because I'm always like trying to solve people's problems. And I'm like, okay, so maybe that's not for me as well. And then that's when I started thinking, maybe I can start talking about my lifestyle. Maybe that will also inspire others. So that's when I kind of like went into the content creation route and tried like lifestyle, travel, and that's kind of how I started that journey. And I was like, oh, I really, really like what I'm doing, because like I'm storytelling through my content and people are enjoying it as well. They're resonating with it as well. So yeah, that's kind of like how I started the whole content creation path.
I want to ask, so going back a little bit from when you decided to quit your job and just venture online, I feel like a lot of us would have questions on, just all those feelings and fears that might come up. Did that ever happen to you?
I think towards the end, when I was still searching like, the different industries, I think at that point I was lost. I was just really lost in life. And of course, I knew that if I quit, I have no stability and I would be worried, right? Every month, and like where's the paycheck coming in? It's not like a stable income, no more stable income. And so of course I was super scared, and then actually I'll talk to my parents about it. And before graduation, when I did interior design, because when I first went into college, actually I was doing biology.
Okay.
But then when I graduated, I was in interior design. So at that moment, my dad already told me, if you don't get a job in interior design, then that's it. Like, then you have to, like, you know, it's not meant for you. Yeah. And now from interior design, which I told them is my dream job, to telling them, like, I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
And don't know what I want to do in life yet. Like, that's, like, another second step of them looking at me like, what are you doing with your life, Abigail? Like, what do you want to do? And of course, there's a lot of like disappointment. I felt like 4 years of interior design, like I switched majors and became so full on interior design. I knew that I was gonna go to a top one company corporate firm, to like quitting completely in the whole industry. Like there was just a lot of fear, and I knew that I somehow had to like make them proud again with something. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. There was definitely like the pressure points that you mentioned. I think especially for Asian parents.
Yeah.
Like having their kid do something in the creative industry is already like giving them a heart attack. And like quitting your job, that's like the big one that they never really want to hear.
Yeah.
So what helped you overcome this? And because I feel like one of the important things that we need to bear in mind when we like go on this like search journey, and you were saying how you like research different routes, is we need to stay calm and just not freak out in the process, because we can so totally just like get really scared and hop back into a corporate job just to hold on to that security. So what helped you kind of like navigate this process? And as you said, you had to make your parents proud. But you couldn't do that like right away. You have to build everything up again. So like, is there anything that you would like tell yourself or self-motivate to go through that?
Yeah, I feel like because I don't want to go back into corporate, like that itself already was the biggest motivator for me. And I told myself, if I don't want to go back there, I have to strive for it. And I know myself so well that I'm a very hard worker, and I have a very strong work ethic, that nothing can stop me if I start something. So I'm not really worried about that part, because I know that in the future they would be proud of me no matter what I do, because I know that once I set my heart onto something, it will happen.
Do you think that kind of like happened already? So Abigail just reached her 50K.
60K now.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, 60K Instagram follower, and I'm sure when we issue this episode, there'll be more. But do you think that you've kind of already reached like where you wanted to be when you first like jumped into this industry?
Honestly, I'm very surprised with where I'm at now, because like at that time, I even think 10K was already a lot to me. And all I wanted was to see like how my storytelling creativity, where will it take me? That's like the goal. It wasn't really the numbers. The numbers came great, but it was like all the other things that came with it, like the opportunities that came, the networking, the events, the people that I'm meeting. Yeah.
And going into your journey of being a content creator, so do you think you were kind of like, you already have the skill sets going into this because of your obviously creative background of interior design? Do you think, or it's the other way, that you kind of just like, you want to do content creation and then you just learned on the spot?
I think with the design background, in terms of like hard skills like softwares, like editing and all that, like Photoshop at that time, because in the beginning of Instagram, it was more like the
like photos,
the Wonderlust, like that helped me a lot, because obviously Photoshop, that kind of thing, I already have that like skill. But in terms of like editing and really storytelling and like putting my thought in, it takes time to like improve on, because every time I post, I can see where I can change things, and it depends on how my audience resonate with it as well. Like if I feel like this insight is showing me that it's not doing as well, then I will pivot. So yeah, I just kind of like maneuver as I keep going.
How do you like just stay positive and carry on a good mindset being in this industry?
I have a very optimistic person as well. So like to me, it's not that hard to stay positive. But of course, with like competition, comparison, like hated comments, like, or like when I don't see results fast, I think I have a lot of faith. Yeah, I think that's one thing. Like
Is it faith in yourself?
I have faith in myself with my work ethic that it will go somewhere. Yeah. But I think in terms of like having that positive mindset of knowing that it will take time and whatever happens will happen.
Yeah.
Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I just know that whatever happens, bad or good, it's the path that I'm supposed to take to make me learn something or gain an opportunity. So like having that mindset going in, there's no failure.
This is such a great reminder, honestly, because I feel like when we start something, we always have like, oh, I know I'm gonna do well. Like we always, you know, like do this like self-talk, and we know that once we decided on something, like, oh, we want to make it great. But then in the process, there might be challenges and obstacles, and we forget this. We have this faith from the beginning, so why do we lose it, like, when we're going through it?
Right. I think keeping it is very important, and just learning that each process is what you're supposed to take to get you where you need to be in the future.
Yeah. And going deeper actually into like the obstacles and challenges part, what do you think is the most challenging thing as being a content creator or just being in this creative industry?
I think there's a lot of comparisons in this industry. Like people compare content, and that's why there's gonna be copying, and then there's also like comparing like, oh, statistics, like who does better, followers, all that. I think those are the main things that people are always worrying about. But like getting through it is just again the same concept. Like these are just numbers. It just gives you a direction to where you need to be, but it doesn't mean anything about your self-worth.
Yeah.
Like
just being online is such like a, like, how do you say it? Like it's like having something like hit you in the face to lower down your self-worth. Yeah.
Or change yourself to become someone that you think is seemingly better. Yeah. And again, we don't know their background story as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. And like you should believe that your uniqueness online is what attract people to you.
Yeah, that is so true.
You don't have to be like anyone else. Just be yourself.
Do you get like a writer's block for Instagram?
Creative block?
Yes, creative block. Yeah,
for sure. I do. Like, I know I burn myself out a lot because I just like when I have an idea, I'm so excited and I'll just go for it. But during those times when I know that I don't have that energy to create anymore, or I don't have the idea, then I give myself a little break. Yeah, I do that because I know that my capacity, if I go too much and force it, the results won't be good, number one, and number two, I won't be happy making it either.
So how do you know when to take a break?
I think through the past few years, I tested myself, like, okay, let me try posting like 3 times a week. Let me try posting 5 times a week. Let me try posting 2 times a day. And based on that, week by week, I found that 3 is around like my max per week. So then I stay within that amount. And the more I keep going 3 a week, I can see that my energy and creativity continues.
And obviously, now that you're your own boss, you see the difference with like your lifestyle changes vs when you were in corporates, right?
Right, for sure. Like, very big change. With the flexibility and all that too. So I want to know more about like what do you think are some of the like unexpected parts becoming an entrepreneur? Because I think, you know, like entrepreneur is such a glorified term that everyone associated with like freedom and doing whatever you want, but we know that might not be the whole truth. You would think usually you're escaping the 9 to 5 is because you don't want to work 9 to 5, but when you're an entrepreneur, you work 24/7. Even if you're not working, you're thinking about what's next because you want to keep it going. and you want to always like not have FOMO in a way, business FOMO, where you don't want to miss out on opportunities that might excel your career path. So I think that's like two different things. One is like 9 to 5, you're following someone's path and you're listening to someone and hoping that you'll get promotion next year. Whereas being an entrepreneur, you have to be there 24/7 to create something, or else nothing is gonna happen because it's literally just you.
And how do you actually keep yourself sane in this process? Like, because I'm asking this because there might not be like, events happening all the time,
Right.
and it can be a little bit like not like unexpected, but like it's not very stable, obviously, that you might not know what you're doing the next week.
I think I'm very good at keeping myself busy.
Okay.
Like if there's no events, then I'm creating content. Yeah, like if I'm not, I must be doing something or meeting someone or just relaxing but doing something. I just always have something that's going on. Like I cannot stop. My brain just keeps going.
I love this. I actually I think that's because my own takeaway from this is actually having a list of things that you enjoy doing, and even if you don't have a structured timetable, you can fill in those things.
Yeah.
Because you already know, like, these are the things that like you need to do, or like the generic things that will like help your business grow.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people, because speaking from my own experience too, when I started out as like with my events company a few years ago, I think this is what I was struggling with, is not having like the full list of like having these like things to mix and match in my calendar.
Yeah.
So when something is canceled or like something happens, then I will freak out.
Oh, okay, because there's nothing to fill that spot, and you feel empty.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it takes time to like really know what each person's like schedule and like preferences are. I feel like too, because if some people, for example, are not extrovert like me, they might want to use that like empty blocked spot to rest. As an extrovert, like if person A cancels on me, I'll find person B. It's always gonna be someone. I'm like, are you free? Want to get coffee? Yeah.
I love this. And it actually brings me to another question, which is related to FOMO.
Okay.
Because FOMO, I feel like, is such a big thing now, especially with having so many options, and things are just like, you cannot possibly do everything
right.
that you want to.
Yeah.
So has this ever came up for you, especially with like events, maybe like you seeing people like going to events, or just having opportunities, and maybe you missed out on something? Like, does this happen?
I feel like at this point, when I'm starting to choose my events now, because through the past year's experience and going to different events, different kind of events, I realized like what suits me more and what I don't prefer going to. So I think with those experience, moving forward, I really choose which one I prefer. So I don't think FOMO really comes up because I get to choose it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And if other people go to other events, and I'm happy for them. Yeah. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. I think that's a really good mindset to have, because like that's it.
Yeah, like it's best to just choose where you want to go. And I mean, if FOMO, like if you don't get invited, then that's another thing. That means I always think maybe my image does not suit that brand's needs at this moment, but doesn't mean I won't be in the future.
Yeah. I think this is very similar to what you said just now about not having failures. I think this, maybe we can rephrase it to like rejections, right? Like some people may view not being invited to something as a rejection, but actually that's not the case.
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like we forget that we have the ability to choose.
Right.
And we're actually also the one like saying no to like the things that we don't want to do.
Exactly.
So I think that's such a good reminder too. Like just remembering that we are in control.
Right.
And not that other people are like choosing us and like making us like nervous.
Yeah, and a no now doesn't mean a no in the future. I always remember that. Like just because that person says no now doesn't mean you need to be mean to that person and like, oh, you rejected me, now I cut off the relationship with you. That's not how it works. Maybe it's just by project. Maybe it's their boss that's telling them to do that. You never know. So I think the best is just like understand that they say no this time, but there's always in the future.
Yeah, that is so true. So do you have any advice to give it to yourself when you're starting out, or to other young people who's looking to venture in more creative industries?
I think almost like any interview or anything, I always say take it one step at a time. Because like as content creator, you always want to like look super far ahead, or maybe in a corporate world, like 5-year plan, 10-year plan, and you just don't know, because you just don't know what will happen tomorrow. You can't really plan that far ahead. So in my mind, it's like just take it one day at a time, one step at a time, one content at a time, and see where it takes you, and just enjoy that process.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, one content at a time. That is
Yeah.
that really resonates with me as well. You know, because sometimes we think ahead. You know, just with like anything, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to prepare. You want to like just do everything first, but
Right.
everything is impossible, and you
Yeah.
always have more things to do. So you
Right.
just take it like step by step.
Yeah, and just like my creating process too, I'm the type that I don't plan for my content. I go there and film and everything, and then I create it after. I don't even know what I'm gonna film when I get there. I just go there, do the work, and then put the story together after.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not the planner type. I'm a very spontaneous person. But that helps me with stress though.
Okay.
But some people I know, if they're more pre-planned person and they plan their content calendar and they plan what they're gonna film, they will feel less stressed because they're like fully organized. But again, for me, it's like I just don't know what I'll see when I'm there.
Yeah.
So might as well just go there and just film whatever that is really there, and then think about it after.
Yeah.
Do first, think later.
Do first thing later. Okay, yeah, that works in some extent.
In some extent. Content-wise, yeah. Don't overthink, just do.
Yes.
Yes.
I think this is great to know, because it's just telling us that there's no like one size fit all kind of like solution to basically anything, and sometimes we forget that. And I feel like since now there are so many courses that people can take with being in creative, like master classes and like online courses.
It's a lot,
yeah, and we forget that the most important thing is actually knowing what works best for us.
Yep.
And just like kind of like what you said, like you are like this way, but other
Right.
people might be the other way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one size fits all.
Oh, I love that. Oh, well, thank you so much for all your sharing. We're down to our very last question.
Okay.
So one thing I ask all of my guests is like, can you share with us one thing that you love about yourself?
I love that I'm very bubbly.
Ah!
Yay! Yeah, I think that will help. I think being bubbly is good because like it helps relate to people. Like people will feel like the energy and like open up themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's how you connect even better.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yes. Definitely people can feel your energy even through a screen. So
Yeah.
just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes.
I'm so glad that we get to chat and do this. So if the audience wants to connect with you, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, 小红书. YouTube, did I say that already?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
And what is your
And
handle?
it's all Abigail Chin. Except Instagram, it's abigailchin.co.
Okay, cool. Yes. Well, thank you everyone for listening today. If you have any more questions about career change or content creation, feel free to reach out to Abigail. And well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.